Today we're going to use the same techniques that we have in the past few videos to solve pendulum. The idea behind this environment is to get this stick to rotate up vertically and hold itself there for 200 steps. What's interesting about this environment is that both the action space and the observation space are floating point numbers or continuous. So we need to use the same techniques from before to convert this into a discrete space. That way we can use Q-learning to solve this environment. Another thing that's interesting is that this one does not have a termination condition. It only has a truncation. So after 200 steps, the environment will stop by itself. If you've seen my videos on Acrobat and Mountain Car, then you should have some idea of how I'm going to approach this. If you haven't, go over to my channel, go to my Q-learning playlist, and you'll find those videos here. Now let's jump to the code. This code is very similar to all the previous videos, so I'm just going to go over some of the highlights. So here we're creating the pendulum environment and adjusted some of the hyperparameters for this environment. You can definitely play around with these numbers. You've seen that I used this linspace function to convert the observation space into discrete segments. So we're taking the high and low range and dividing it up into 15 divisions. The 15 is arbitrary. You can make it higher or lower. Same thing with the action space. We're using the same method to divide the action space into 15 divisions. Of course, the observation space, you can use a different set of divisions, and the action space, you can use a different set of division, but it just so happens that 15 works for both, so I'm using 15. Now, in the training loop, I have an infinite loop to loop through the episodes. Remember, there is no termination flag for this environment, so I'm counting the number of steps taken and I'm capping it at 1000 steps. Even though the environment truncates at 200, if you try to use 200 for training, that's probably not enough steps for the stick to be able to flip itself to the top. So that's why I put 1000. Also, you can use something lower or higher. Down in the epsilon greedy implementation, we're going to sample a random action. This is going to get a number between, let's see, a -2 and 2. So we'll get a float between -2 and 2, and then we're going to use the digitize function, pass in that float, and also the buckets. Going back up, the linspace function divided the range of -2 and 2 into 15 buckets. The digitize function will return the bucket that the action falls into. And this is used down in here when we're updating the Q table. When we look up the Q table for the best action, we're going to get back the bucket or the action or the index of the action, which is going to be a discrete number. So before passing that into the step function, we need to use the action bucket to look up the bucket that the index belongs to and return the floating point action. We'll take that action, get the new state, and then everything else is the same. Now down here, you'll notice that I don't have a way to exit out the infinite while loop. Here is our infinite training loop here. So for this environment, I'm just going to let it train indefinitely and then manually stop it when I think the solution is found. And I can do that by looking at the graph that gets created during training. The agent receives a reward of 0 if it's able to balance itself vertically. Otherwise, it gets penalized. So you see at the beginning, we get a whole bunch of penalized rewards all the way about maybe 3,000-4,000 episodes when it's able to balance itself. Now I walked away from the training and I really don't need 30,000 episodes. Could have ended it before 5,000, but when I came back it was already 30,000 episodes, so I ended the training manually. After the training, it creates this pickle file here. So now I can turn off training and run the environment with training off. Let me do that. I'll just hit F5 and it should load the Q table from the pickle file. There we go. So now it's going to balance itself indefinitely because in the training loop, I didn't deal with the truncated flag. If you're interested in the code, go to my GitHub page and grab the code and play around with this. All right, I'll see you in the next video.